love cats. I love every kind of cat. I just wanna hug all of them, but I can't hug every cat. Can't hug every cat. So anyway, I am a cat lover and I love to run. I'm sorry I'm thinking about cats again. I really love cats.
I'm back. It has been even longer than the last time. Oh, Charlie, do you want to come say hi? Oh, I think he does. Oh, Charlie, be nice and say hello. Charlie and I have had a pretty busy month. So has Luna. I apologize for my long absence. It has been a long summer, long month, and honestly, I've just not gotten around to do it. Part of it's just laziness. Sorry, guys. I think because the last couple of times I'm just like, man, I've been working on one thing at a time. Don't want to have just a short video of something boring or just like one thing. So I've got a few things to show you guys. And a few things to talk about. So let me look at my list that I made this time. I'm gonna start with what I'm all into per Kitten Stitcher style. Teresa, what she's all into. She's got me going on that. Right now, I mean, I've always kind of been all into this. Okay, that's not true. Maybe like the last year or two, but like right now I'm really all into it. And that's boba tea. I feel like maybe I mentioned this on my last video, but you know what? It still rings true. I've been like 4 times this week and it's Tuesday. So if you don't know what boba tea is, it's also known as bubble tea. It's really good. It's kind of it's almost an acquired taste. I'm not a big tea drinker, but I really like boba tea. Essentially, it's what I get is a milky tea. So it's a combination of tea and milk and the flavor, and then you can get what's the boba, which is a chewy, it's like they're like little balls. They look like little bubbles, which is why it's called bubble tea sometimes. But it comes from the cassava root, and it's like sweet and chewy. So it's kind of, they're just like these little balls of, what's the best way to describe it? Not Jello, because it's more chewy than Jello, but you get the idea. You should look it up. It's pretty good. Also, just since the last time I posted a video, I've already completely watched an entire series on Netflix, and I'm into season 3 of a series on Amazon Prime. Mad Men. If you like dramas, but also, what's it called? Period dramas. Those are some of my favorites. I love period dramas, mostly because I'm just intrigued by history and how people lived in different time periods and whatever, you know, it just interests me. So Mad Men is essentially, if you've not heard of it, it's about an advertising agency set in like the late 60s. Well, I lied. It's like, it spans the late 50s through the very late 60s, possibly early 70s. I can't remember exactly when what year it ends in, but it covers a good amount of time. And it's really good. I like it a lot. Liked it because I already finished it. I may have to go back and watch it again. It was that good. What I've recently started is called Suits, which, fun surprise for me because, I mean, obviously I knew that Meghan Markle was an actress prior to becoming a duchess or whatever the heck she is now that she married Prince Harry. But she's like a main character in that show. So that's kind of fun if you're into that. It's a show about lawyers, but it's not like boring. It's pretty good. So that's what I'm all into. Man, what have I been up to this past month? So I think the last video that I posted, my nephew had just been born. He is still super adorable. He is now, what's today's date? 21st. He's like 7 weeks old, maybe 6, I don't know, but he's really cute. So after he was born last month, I spent about a week, and you may have seen this a little bit on my Instagram. I don't remember if I posted it or put it in my story, but I went to North Carolina for a week to work as a volunteer doing childcare for what's called Young Lives. If you've ever heard of Young Life, I actually never did it when I was in school, but it's an outreach program put on by, it's a Christian ministry, but it's an outreach program for high schoolers mostly, but they have different branches that focuses on different groups. So there's one for like middle school and one for kids with special needs and things like that. And the Young Lives is a branch of Young Life, which is for teen mothers. So basically what the camp does is that it gives these teen moms a chance to be teens again, just for a week. And so when they're doing club or activities or cabin time, talking with their mentors, anything like that, that's where the childcare volunteers come in, and we take care of their babies so they can be teens. So it's really fun. It's really unique. If you have not heard of it, I strongly encourage you to look it up. It's really awesome and a very rewarding time. And obviously I love babies, so I had a lot of fun. Very tiring, but very rewarding. So while I was in North Carolina, and I'll come back to this later because it's going to become towards the end, I just was like, I'm going to see if there are any cross-stitching places nearby. Guess where Sassy Jack's Stitchery is, y'all? It's just outside of Asheville, which was kind of on my way home. It was maybe 20-30 minutes out of the way, and I was all over that. So I spent way too much money at Sassy Jack's Stitchery. I was there for like 2 hours. What I was thinking was going to be, actually it may have been 3 hours. I had like a 6-hour drive to get home by myself. And so I was like, well, I've got time to kill. I'm just going to drop by, spend maybe an hour. It'll be fine. At one point I had to make sure that they weren't closing because one, I was the only one there and I'd been there for like an hour and a half and I didn't want them to stay there just for me. But those ladies there were super sweet, and if I lived closer, I would be there all the time. It's probably a good thing that I don't. So I'll show my purchases from that later. And the only other fun thing that I did other than work like crazy all summer was my nephew that was born last month. My sister is a resident director at a university in West Tennessee, and she had to do some RA training for like a retreat, and so I got to take a few days off of work to go help take care of him while she was doing the retreat. So in between feedings we just kind of hung out and I got to snuggle with my nephew, so that was a lot of fun. Sidebar, I don't know if I've mentioned to you guys that Charlie likes to play fetch. He has since destroyed one of the mice that he plays fetch with, and if he finds hair ties, he likes to play fetch with these as well, and that is what he has just brought me, so I'm gonna throw that for him, and he'll probably bring it back. Okay, so that is all I've done this past month. Mostly work, couple of vacation-y type things with babies, which was really awesome, and that's about it. But because it's been so long, I actually have 4 things to share with you guys today. That's like a record for me. Let me see what I want to do first. Okay, I'm going to show you this. So we're going to start whips. So last time I shared with you guys that I was starting Sarah Brazier. I don't think I did. I started it, and I had started on the border, but then I decided that was a terrible idea, and so I actually frogged all of what I'd done, which was not a ton, but it was a lot of little stitches. And then I started over from the middle. So this is the Sarah Brazier 1829 from Hands Across the Sea Samplers. I'm stitching it on 40 count Newcastle cream linen, 1/2, except for where called for. So this is that. I'm doing that stitch along. And I really need to kind of kick it in gear and get back to this, but this is what I completed so far. This is a pretty big piece of fabric. Pretty much this whole square is going to be this sampler, and it's my first one. Oh man, sorry, it's folded. You can tell it's been a hot minute since I've worked on it. So this is what I've got so far. Let's try and get that crease out of there. So I started in the middle with the deer. He's got the deer in the headlight look. These little like letters are amazing. It's so fun to see. This is the first time I've stitched on 40 count, and the letters are 1/1. It is the tiniest. I wish it would focus. Let me see if I can get it to focus. I think it's just not smart enough, but they're like the tiniest letters I've ever seen. I mean, look, that's my fingernail. That's so tiny. Charlie's already back, hold on. Come here, come get it. I don't know if you can hear him running away, but he's fetching it. So that's all I've gotten done on that one. I'll probably, you guys know how this is my trend lately. I just tend to get really excited about what I'm working on that I forget about everything else. So I haven't picked this up in a minute, but I'll probably come back to it. I've been seeing a lot of people on Instagram lately doing, there's some kind of app. It's like a random selection. It's like a wheel or something where you can like spin the wheel and it'll pick a project for you to work on for that day. If I ever want to actually work on more than one thing at a time, I probably need to do that. So I'm thinking I need to figure out what the app is. So if any of you guys are doing that, let me know in the comments, because I've really got to kick myself into gear here, because I get too excited about what I'm working on that I forget what else I have until I do a video and I'm like, oh, I forgot that existed. So next thing I have here that I've worked on since the last video, because the last one was a whip parade, so you see all my whips, but I've only worked on 2 of the ones that I showed last time. Oops. This one is Harry Potter Pillow Sampler by Clouds Factory. I'm stitching it on 32 count raw linen over 2. This is what it will eventually look like someday in hopefully the near future, because I'm so close to being done. I'm like 2/3 of the way done. Okay, so that's the pattern. In here is how far I've gotten. Okay, well, 2/3 might be a little much. I don't know. That's far away. I think, okay. I've really got to figure out a better way to do this, because I can never see what I'm doing. There we go. So I finished all of the Horcruxes there in the middle, and then I finished Slytherin over here, all of the flags, got that cute envelope, my acceptance letter, you know. So all I've got to do is finish this section right here and then the very bottom. Maybe I'll work on this next. I just like how flat these stitches, I don't know what it is about this fabric. It's very stiff and like almost like canvas, but I just like the way that the stitches lay on it, so. Okay, Charlie, okay. Okay, so the next thing that what I'm working on right now that I've been spending most of my time on is one of my purchases from Sassy Jacks. So I think this is gonna be a combination of whip / new start / purchases, because I got it from Sassy Jacks. So one of the things that I purchased was, it's the map of Hawk Run Hollow. I really wanted to do a Hawk Run Hollow piece, but at the time of purchase, I couldn't commit to one of the other patterns because they're about $10 more than the map, and this is one of the ones that I liked anyway. So I went with this one, and I'm loving it. I started it today's Tuesday. I didn't say that earlier, but today's Tuesday, August 21st. And I started it last Monday, but I have been really busy and I have not stitched on it a ton, so this will show you how much I've enjoyed it, because the amount that I have stitched on it is pretty good for only having about a week. So this is what I've got. I'm stitching it on Lakeside Linens Vintage Meadow Rue, and it's 40 count. So I'm stitching this over 2. And I really like 40 count. I do. I've been turned. Look at it. It's just so pretty. So I started in the middle again. I've run into a couple of problems with running out of room. So I'm for this project and the last couple that I've started in the middle instead of the top left, which I like. At the same time, I don't like it because if there were going to be any excess fabric, now it's not going to be quite usable because I'm starting in the middle, but it's okay. Okay, so that's all my whips. I have another one from Sassy Jacks that I've already started and fitted. Oh, that's not true. I bought this one online, but I got the fabric and stuff for. I kitted it up at Sassy Jacks, but I had purchased it online at some point. It is Halloween Cat by Satsuma Street. I'm stitching this on the called for linen, which is Weeks Dye Works Periwinkle 30 count. And it's stinking gorgeous. So oh, you know what? I got the floss at Sassy Jacks. They kitted the floss up for me, but I've already finished it. I crushed it out. I mean, yeah, and you can obviously see that I really need to figure out my issue with buying the right size fabric, but it's fine. It's fine. I think I'm just gonna frame it with some matte and then just put it on my desk or something. But I mean, come on guys, how can you not? I finally got, this is my first ever Halloween, and it's got some kitties in it. Kitties. Just look at the kitties. Ugh, I'm obsessed. I'll be doing another Satsuma Street for sure. I've been wanting to do one just because I really like the way she does her colors, but I just hadn't gotten around to purchasing one, and I am very pleased. I just noticed that the pumpkin's eyes are opposite directions. Oh, that's so smart. I didn't even notice that before. And look, this kitty, he's in the pumpkin. Okay, I'll stop fawning over it now. I just think it's so stinking cute. I just really like the colors, and it pops on this linen. It really does. I think I got the linen on 1, 2, 3 stitch. So that brings me to the last of what I have for you guys, which is my purchases from Sassy Jacks. I went there and I was just blown away. I took some videos and pictures, and if I still have them, I'm gonna insert them right here. So if you haven't been to Sassy Jacks, that's just a really brief glimpse of kind of what it looks like. It's awesome. I immediately called Kathleen. That's not true. I'm sorry. I immediately looked around for 30 minutes, but then I texted Kathleen and called her and FaceTimed with her so she could pick out some stuff too. So between the two of us, Sassy Jacks made some good money that day. So, okay, I already told you guys that I got Map of Hawk Run Hollow. I bought this fabric there as well. And then I've got a couple other things in here. I looked through their fabric bins. Charlie is back because I've been ignoring him. Go get it. I looked through their fabric bins and they had a bunch of like leftover cuts and stuff. So I just looked through those to find some that were pretty, and yeah. So I've got a small cut from Picture This Plus 32 count Haunted. Ooh, that's actually, yeah, that's pretty good. I don't know what I'll use this for, but like, I mean, couldn't pass it up. It's pretty. Here. Oh, you want it? You want it? Is it pretty? Is it pretty? Oh, oh. He's just so distracting because he's so cute. Okay, for a second there, I thought that I had two things of the same cut, but I don't. I was just reading it wrong. Then I've got another small cut from Weeks Dye Works on 30 count, and it's called Gunmetal. It's just like a dark gray. I figured I could put something like with a lot of fun colors on it to like make it really pop. So it's just gray. Charlie is back for more. Where is it? You put it on the floor. Hold on. Hold, please. Okay, if I'm gonna throw this, you have to say hi. Okay. Oh, you ready? Okay, and then the last one I got is Silk Weaver, and it's 32 count Belfast linen, and it's called Star Quest. This one might be my favorite. I have absolutely no idea what I will use this for, but I could not pass it up. I just kept coming back to it. That's pretty, well, the colors are much more bright. It's like much more purple. It's coming off kind of green right there, but it's not really got any green in it. There we go. I think that's probably pretty close. I mean, come on. I had to. And then last but not least, of course I kitted up my floss for the cats, and then I bought my first ever Lizzie Kate, which I'll probably start soon because August is almost over, and it's another Halloween pattern. This one is Halloweeny, and it's the entire kit minus the floss. So it came with what you need to make the little pillow, as well as the fabric, and of course the pattern. So I'm really excited about that one. I think I've seen some people stitch this. I feel like Steph from Just Keep Stitching stitched this, but I could be wrong. I mean, she probably has because she's like stitched everything that's Lizzie Kate. So that's all I've got. This is actually a pretty short video, even though I had a ton of more stuff. What is wrong with me? The only other thing of interest, I think well, no, that's not interesting to you guys. Never mind. Psh. Oh, this is interesting. I don't know if you guys saw that Color and Cotton on their blog was doing a giveaway for their, okay. So my mom had just run down to ask if I wanted anything for dinner or to eat leftovers or whatever, so I had to stop. Anyway, I was talking about the giveaway that Color and Cotton was doing for their new Halloween box. I wasn't able to purchase one or like pre-order one at the time of the release of that, and like they sold out super fast. And then I saw people sharing about their giveaway from their blog, so I was like, psh, I'm gonna enter this giveaway. Just, I never win anything. Y'all, guess who won? This girl right here. I won a giveaway. I never win anything. So I'm not trying to gloat, but I got a giveaway. I'm real excited. I do have to give a huge shout out to Corey, the Silent Stitcher, because they're the one who posted it that I saw and then reposted. So thank you, Corey, because if you hadn't have posted it, I wouldn't have seen it, and then I wouldn't have gotten a chance to enter. And I'm really excited about it. It hasn't come yet. I don't think they're sending them out until next month because it's still August, but I'm very excited. So that's that. Anyway, that's what I was gonna say. And then other than that, there's nothing else going on super exciting. Oh, I know I mentioned this earlier, but if you know the name of the app that I'm talking about that everyone's been sharing lately with the spinny wheel, let me know, because I'm gonna try and do that and actually get some stitching done on something else than just this, because right now I'm obsessed with it and I need to move on. I need to swap it up. I'm in a weird mood. One last thing, one other best new thing, cookie dough, like the no-bake cookie dough places. There's one in Nashville. It was a food truck at one point, and now it's a permanent location, and I swear I've been there like 12 times this month. Delicious. They had a Groupon. It was $10 for a $20 gift certificate or whatever. So I went the other day after work. It was kind of a stressful day, and I was like, hey, do I have to use this all at once? Because it wasn't like a normal gift card. And they're like, yeah, you do. Let me show you what I got. Hold on. Are you ready for this? I don't think you're ready. So they have like, basically the way it's set up is they have probably 8 or 9 different flavors that they do every day. They keep them chilled. The reason they can sell it is because there's no eggs in it, so it doesn't have the risk of salmonella, I think is what it is. So it's just cookie dough. Like, it's not baked, it's not cookies, it's straight up cookie dough. So they sell some by the pint, and then you can also get like so many scoops at a time. So I bought a pint, and then I got 2 scoops to eat. That took me that whole weekend to eat. And then last night I got really excited about the cookie dough, so I ate a lot of this, which is about the same as 2 scoops. But anyway, if you were in Nashville, go to No Baked Cookie Dough. It is a really cute pink house right next to Centennial Park, right off of West End Avenue. This is the s'mores cookie dough, my personal favorite. Try it out. That's all I gotta say. I forgot to mention this earlier, so I just really had to mention it now because I'm thinking about it and I'm about to go eat me some. So y'all have a good night, have a good week, whatever day of the time of the day that you are watching this, and be looking forward to hopefully at least more than 1 video a month from me. I'm gonna try to be better about it, but you know, life. So I will post them as I have stuff for you guys, and always feel free to follow me on Instagram. That's where I post more often. I do post kind of progress pics, and I'm more active on Instagram than any other social media, so check me out there. I will link it below, but it's just Cat Lady Stitcher. And yeah, that's all I've got. Bye.
I love cats. I love every kind of cat. I just want to hug all of them, but I can't.